Anime Summit, Episode 78.
Cardcaptor, mystic adventure. Cardcaptor, a quest for all time. God, that fucking opening.
Hello and welcome to the Anime Summit Podcast. On this episode, we're going to talk about comedy anime. Sam's going to tell us what year he was born. Somebody left an angry iTunes review, and Mac's going to get it promoted. I'm Quokka. With me, I've got Nick.
Bruh!
Mac.
I'm gonna get a promoted.
And Sam.
Just remember, Mac, you're doing it for her or something. The Lisa Simpson thing. Link in the show notes. I fucked that up.
So, that was a little weird. So yeah, I guess first, Matt, congratulations on your promotion. You're gonna be...
No, I got a promoted. That's what you said the first time. That's what we're calling this. I got a promoted.
Mac's gonna be lead producer of Anime Summit over the next 2 months, interim.
Interim?
Quokka, how do you even words?
Is that like a StarCraft 2 race or something? Do they fight do the interims?
Did I not use that word
Zergs?
correctly?
Interim. Not interim. I'm gonna interim.
Interim.
I'm gonna interim your rectum.
Jeez.
Wait.
Interim.
Was Mac's promotion the Anime Summit promotion, or was it like a real life one?
It was Anime Summit. This is real life.
Oh.
Or is this just fantasy?
Yeah, Mac is going to be in
To
charge over the
escape
next
from
2 months.
reality.
So direct all your angry complaints his way. He's going to be
hate
responsible
mail at Mac.
for all the hard stuff that we have to do.
See, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to read your hate mail, and then I'm going to take whatever your icon is, whether it be on Discord or Twitter or whatever, and then I'm just going to draw a really shitty Microsoft Paint dick on it. And that'll be my response.
No, you'll tweet it too. Make a YouTube video and just bash anybody who disagrees.
Anyone who disagrees, I'm gonna print out a picture of your icon and take a poop on it.
We're gonna internet bully you if you make fun of us. Don't do it.
And in other Anime Summit news, the week after Christmas, all four of us will be getting together in Minneapolis, and we're going to be recording some videos, and we're going to be doing shit tons of live streams. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube...
Literally shit tons.
If you want to find us, tune in to Chatterbait. We'll be on there.
With at least halfway professional cameras and at least halfway professional sound equipment.
Yeah. Be at yt.animesummit.net if you're one of those RSS only iTunes people.
Are we going to be streaming off of YouTube?
Yes.
Okay.
Not
the
like
YouTubes.
Twitch
TV or something? Okay.
We'll be streaming off the YouTubes.
We'll be streaming on the YouTubes. We're going to be doing, a Final Fantasy 15 stream. We're going to be doing a Dead or Alive Extreme 3 stream. We're going to just watch some winter anime.
We'll watch some hardcore porn and critique their
watch
form.
some anime live and talk shit about it.
The
we're going to watch all of Pokemon.
There's going to be
every episode of Pokemon.
We'll watch all of Naruto, too,
Shokugekis.
so that we can live up to our iTunes reviews.
That week, we're going to watch all of Pokemon, all of Naruto, all of One Piece, live.
Just gotta make sure
and
my
all
house
of
is clean.
Gintama.
Doing the live stream from my basement, and then I gotta make sure I vacuum up all the dead animals down there.
Speaking of basement,
but most importantly,
never mind.
On the Thursday after Christmas, we're going to do our 2016 award show live on the YouTube
stream.
It'll be later, possibly edited and stuff, and put onto the RSS feed audio only for those of you that like that.
And it will be a slightly girthier episode, a little more length to that one.
We'll probably also have it set up so that people can jump into Discord, and we may invite you to come comment on shows and tell us why what we think is good isn't good, and why what you think is good is better.
Except if you like ReZero, you're wrong.
It would be
Depends
kind
what
of
they're
like
comparing it to.
It would be kind of like calls, like calling in a radio station. It'd be kind of like that.
We're gonna
I'm
do.
just thinking of the Tom Green show. Where
we got this guy right here on line one. What's your opinion?
What did I call those? A call like a call-a-thon or whatever.
I like turtles.
Ed Sullivan show.
I like chocolate milk.
Anyway.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We'll put a video up on YouTube or something announcing it and reminding you guys. There was also an AO last week, which is this week for tomorrow for us, last week for the viewers and listeners. And it's only on the RSS feed, so you need to go subscribe to that by opening up a podcasty app on your phone, searching Anime Summit, or if you have a more complicated one, you can go to, I believe, rss.animesummit.net, plug that into your app if it doesn't show up on the search.
Sub-a-dub-dub. Sub-a-dub-dub, everybody in the tub.
Exactly.
Yeah, iTunes reviews. We got one from Naleem that says, "Whoop! Finally, all the other podcasts were dull as crap. They had no personality. This one has an abundance of it, and individuality and arguing is just freaking hilarious."
Now, I gotta say this. They have 4 periods at the end of personality, right? An
That's why I
ellipse is
paused.
only supposed to be 3 periods. So what is a 4-period ending? What is that?
They're
An
trying
extra
to
long
take after
pause.
Keijo, man. They got to get some exclamation points in there. But all that punctuation, it makes it better.
Okay,
GG?
so thank you, Naleem, for being an awesome fan. Additionally, we did have one somewhat negative review, and we don't want to necessarily shy away from the fact that it happened. We have read it.
It's still positive.
And-
It's 3. 3 is better than 2.
Yeah, it's a C.
It's above average.
We did read it, and we're listening to the recommendations, the ones that we feel were appropriate. There's a little bit that we just want to comment on. So this is from Supernovum, I guess, if you want to do that. So one thing that he says is, Anime Summit is good as a gateway podcast and deserves credit for that. If you really want to increase the depth of your knowledge, get a wider range of coverage in anime, and listen to people who really know the nuts and bolts of the anime industry in Japan, there are better podcasts and personalities to listen to. And I only have to say, yes, there are.
There are.
I'll shout out to ANN Cast. Was it Anime World Order, Weebcast? Those people all know more, and they make money off of anime, and
But then
that's their
again,
job.
yeah, that's their job. We're people who watch it on our free time while working full-time jobs, minus Quokka.
Yeah. He's a full-time
I'm a full-time
student,
student.
He's a full-time student.
The reason we do those jobs is to fund this, so we can make this our full-time job, so we can be a better podcast for you, Supernovum.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll get there. We're
No excuses, obviously, but yes, that's the situation.
we're not gonna
We're a
pretend
casual
that
podcast.
we know everything.
We're a fan podcast.
Don't say
And
that.
there
We're not
was
casual podcasts.
We're
in
tasteless
all the
casuals.
research in all the research that I did before I started this podcast, there was one thing that I also wanted to kind of focus on, which was like listening to a lot of the other podcasts, especially Anime World Order is the specific one I cited when I was talking to other people about this. Is they know so much about anime that the podcast itself can kind of become inaccessible, to where it's like they just throw out all this stuff and you're just like, I don't know what you're talking about anymore because you just keep referencing more and more things.
And especially
that I
old stuff, like really
didn't
old
know
shows
about.
from like the
It becomes
80s
like
and
overwhelming
70s.
at times.
Yeah, so we wanted to make it stay like accessible. We want people to be able to come in and chat, and we're not here to try and teach you necessarily. We want to just be like your lame anime friends that just fucking talk shit about anime and have fun.
And
That's
get
what we
into
wanna be for
arguments
you
every
guys.
3 episodes. There has to be the arguments.
Yeah. And we will naturally get more and more informed as we do this longer and longer. Like just citing Anime World Order again. They were doing that for like 7 years before we started. Same with ANN Cast and
Plus, they're
maybe
adults.
not ANN Cast, but they were
I mean, we
professionals
technically
before
are,
that.
but not really.
You know,
Everybody
I'm just gonna-
but Nick here is an adult, okay?
Yeah, I'm a little kid. I'm a toy.
I'm just going to say this too. And here's the reason, okay? So the thing is that I was born in 1990 in Burnsville, Minnesota.
You were born
And I
in
was born in the
Burnsville?
summertime. Actually, yes, I was.
Gotcha.
And it was 1990 in
And
the
on that
summertime, July-
bombshell.
yeah, so we do take your criticisms to heart. That mirrors a lot of things that we've been saying to ourselves. And
It does actually,
like,
yes.
we'll get there and improve in the ways that we want to improve. But there is definitely go out, listen to other people, especially if you really want more in-depth knowledge. That's not exactly what we're trying to provide to you.
We're here for the
If
Mac
what-
orgasm noises. I mean, that's at the
if
end
you
of the
want-
day. the best part of the podcast.
Oh,
Yeah, if you want every frame of painting style analysis, go watch Mother's Basement.
Ooh,
Listen to the
ANNcast.
Weebcast.
ANNcast, I think, has the best like analysis episodes. Check out the Shinsekai Yori one, and like they got a bunch of them. Hibernate Reme, they did a lot of them.
see,
Yeah,
but
they're
the
fantastic.
thing
Don't
is,
just
they
listen to
don't.
one person's
They don't
views.
have Quokka, or Sam, or Mac.
They don't have us.
They do have
That's
me
true.
though, apparently.
All right. So thank you, Supernovum. We agree. Kind of disagree. Kind of agree. We get you. We hear you.
Some of your points you didn't fully explain, so we can't agree or disagree with some of them. But yes, everybody, you should go and listen to multiple places and find what it is that the content is that you're looking for. We're not trying to be those podcasts. If we were trying to do that, we would have just given up and never started this in the first place because they already exist.
Right.
So we should move on to the
So-
main best girl
Yeah.
topics and shit. Oh, news. We got to quickly say some news.
Yes, there is some news.
Freaking Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Arc is getting an anime. That's fucking cool. Here's why. Because Clear Card Arc, was like the new manga that came out. Everyone was excited. Hell yeah. Clamp is doing it, published by Kodansha. And everyone was like, fucking finally, a new Cardcaptor Sakura thing. And then people were saying they're not going to make an anime. They're not going to make an anime. And they just announced it. By Studio Madhouse, directed by Morio Asaka on the NHK network. January 2018. Be there, be square.
All I can say is literally I can hear Zanzarus squealing in delight, and she's in Canada.
Oh, yeah. She's one of our, listeners. And
I thought that was a character from Cardcaptor for a second. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, she's a big fan. She's one of our listeners. She's a big fan. And she was just overjoyed, over the moon.
Speaking
when
of
that was announced. But
Clamp
yeah, anyway.
and sequels, Code Geass Season 3!
Man, all I
don't know, man.
I care
Whoa.
about is Spice and Wolf season 3. When am I getting my season 3 of Spice and Wolf?
It'll happen.
Really?
But anyway, Code Geass, man. I'm in it for the fan service. I want him to start out with some hardcore C2 Lelouch action. Maybe cover up Lelouch's face so I don't have to look at it, but then put C2 front and center, have some pizza in there.
Pizza
That's
butt.
it. That's all I need.
Pizza
butt.
butt.
Some pizza.
Code Geass Season
Pizza
3
butt.
coming out later. Sunrise. Same thing as Sam said. And yeah.
I think it sucks.
Code Geass is a fun fucking show. Like, I don't know. People take it really seriously, but I thought it was just fun. It's good. It has great fan service. Hot ass chicks.
Hot ass chicks.
It is fun. I'll give it that. It is
It's
fun.
funny
I'll
that
give it
that's
that.
why I like it, is just for the fan service. Other people are all like,
This is-
serious. They're like, oh, it's so emotional and stuff. And I'm like,
This-
fan
this-
service.
This next part is not so much news. I'm only bringing it up because Quokka brought it up. But Final Fantasy 15 is out. Like, I think we all know that. Pretty excited. By the time you hear this, it'll be out for a week already. I don't have a PS4 and I'm Poe, so you can donate to my
To his bank account. Here's his fucking checking number. And
to my GoFundMe that I created. Help Sam get a PS4 and Final Fantasy 15. I will also need a PS4 for Kingdom Hearts 3 when it comes out. So you'd be that's an investment, really. So,
while you're at it, buy
Invest
Sam
in
a new
some.
TV. You know, needs one of those. Maybe a couch.
but I haven't even watched the anime, but I heard it was pretty cool. I haven't even seen Kingsglaive either, but heard it was all pretty sweet. So,
I heard that
yeah.
there's like one or two that are good, and then one or two that are bad. I forgot
Oh,
which
really?
ones. There's one that's like really bad, but then there's one
Isn't
that's
it like only like
a couple that are pretty good.
6 episodes? It's like a short, right?
Yeah, I heard Kingsglaive, but I think it was okay. I'm not sure, but
Kingsglaive was the movie. Okay, I get
there's
it.
one that's a different
got
one that's
you.
really bad. But anyway,
Yeah,
moving on. Best girl, waifu.
Yeah.
freaking. It's obviously freaking. What's her nuts?
Hi,
Sakura
The
Chiyo.
professor.
Sakura
Wait,
Chiyo.
no. Professor.
The professor.
The professor.
Wait,
The professor.
her name
We
isn't
agreed on
Sakura?
this.
I thought
The
we were doing the
professor.
professor from Nichijou.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying the professor, Nick.
I thought it was Hakase Professor Shinanomi. What the fuck am
Yeah,
I
the
looking
professor
at?
from the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, Professor Farnsworth. Got it.
No, it's the professor from Nichijou, otherwise known as Everyday, because the anime is just an anime
Everyday.
about the everyday
My
lives of
ordinary
Japanese
life.
people. Nothing special about it.
Can we just
It's
talk about
just
the
everyday life?
just real quick? Shout out to the scene where she drops a little piece of hot dog, and it's like this. Fucking
Oh, yeah, they dive for it.
This long sequence of her trying to just.
It's like crazy
And
Sakuga too. It looks great.
It was a great animation of just her trying to like get this fucking hot dog. Anyway,
That's like
on.
pretty much what Nichijou is. It's just over the top, like ridiculous shit happening.
No, it's about everyday life. It's in the name.
Yeah, it's just about the normal everyday life of Japanese people. And
Here's-
Nick, I will take a little bit of a problem with you calling it Sakuga in that case because of
Here
the
we
fact
go.
Nichijou consistently uses that level of animation.
Yeah, Kyoto Animation just is Sakuga. Like that's pretty much all they do.
Then it's
Okay,
not
and here's-
Sakuga because Sakuga is when they step up the
Here
animation
we
quality
Yeah,
go.
well, I mean, they're stepping
from
it up.
where it normally
They're
is.
stepping it
Here
up
we
all the
go.
time. They're constantly walking up a set of stairs. And the stairs is like, it's like one of those, what's that weird shape that just keeps going over? An
I'm
MC
just saying.
Escher shape? I don't know.
Over the last few weeks, you've been using that like that's some trendy buzzword that you need to throw in every time something looks good, but Nichijou always
well,
looks good.
it's
It doesn't
also
look
a deconstruction,
distinctly
so-
better. It is a deconstruction.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, here's the thing about Nichijou though. It's hilarious. Speaking of hilarious,
Great segue.
main topic.
We were the one thing that we wanted to go over first, before we got into the topic of comedy, is what's his name? We got a question on Twitter that I think we can go through a little bit and answer.
Oh sure, fine, really quick, do it.
From Nicole de Rugama at Rugama Nicole. She says, "Would you send me a list of all the need to watch anime, all of you combined? Please, pretty please, go all out." Well, Nicole, better than sending it to you.
We'll just say it
We're
on the
gonna talk
cast.
about it.
I got
Let's
a
talk about
3x3 with your name on it. What's your address? I'll mail a 3x3.
like-
Did you, bro?
Yeah. So what do you? I mean, naturally, there's gonna be the classics that you kind of have to see, like Cowboy Bebop and Evangelion. But I also kind of feel like in what things you need to watch aren't necessarily always going to be the best things. They should be. It's about hitting a good scope so that you have a good basis by which to know what you even like and what you should watch.
To be a supreme taste weeaboo, like those of us on the podcast.
Yes, you need to have wide breadth.
Well, I think
So you need to watch ReZero, Sword Art Online.
Oh, Jesus.
I think you do need to watch Sword Art Online, actually, like just so you can talk about it with other people, because everyone's seen it.
No.
Not ReZero, though. Not ReZero.
Yeah, ReZero, maybe not. Sword Art Online, yes.
Yeah, so Evangelion, Cowboy Bebop. I would also say you really need to watch Madoka.
I
but
was fixing to
it-
say that.
Well,
Madaka
Madoka's
Majaka.
more of like a niche show. It's like if you like that type of
Madaka
genre they're
Majaka.
doing, then yeah, definitely.
No,
if you like
it's
magical girls.
Madaka Majaka is a good hook to get anybody into anime.
It's not
Fabulous.
like quite. I wouldn't call it like a pillar though. You know, it's.
I never
I would
said it
still
was a
recommend
pillar.
it. I know.
I
I'm
never
just
said it
saying.
was a pillar. I
I
just said it
recommend
was a
Sailor
good
Moon
hook.
over Madoka if we're talking about like magical girls. Just so you have like a basic idea.
Yeah.
Like here's a magical girl show, Sailor Moon. Bam.
Sailor Moon's too long.
Doesn't matter.
Madorna Bongiorno.
Sailor
I
Moon's
also
not
say
long enough.
really,
Could be 500.
really,
episodes.
really. I think if you want to watch a nice kind of one that's a little longer that you can invest your time into and feel like none of your time was wasted, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh hell
If
yeah!
you haven't already seen
and
it,
Hunter
please
Hunter,
watch Yu Yu
Hunter Hunter
Hakusho.
as well.
No, you can't
And,
do both of
um,
them. That's not giving a good enough
Okay.
spread out.
I haven't seen Hunter Hunter, so I'm going to recommend Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a really, really good show made by the same guy. Check it out.
One that's a little bit older on the spectrum that I think is worth checking out would be Great Teacher Onizuka.
Good comedy right there. Great opening.
It is a great comedy. The facial expressions are absolutely hysterical, and the story to it is actually surprisingly pretty good. So, and it honestly, it's aged pretty well too for how old it is.
Actually, I want to give a quick shout out. Like, actually, there's a video series that Glass Reflection made where he lists his top X number of anime, and he did a couple of series, and he has like a whole bunch of stuff. So maybe we can link that. But I was just gonna mention that like he has a pretty good list of just good shows to check out. Digibro has like another 4-hour video where he does the same thing. But
Just in general,
I know you guys
say
don't like
just go and watch all the top anime, because one,
yeah, don't look at
everything
don't
will
look at
seem
Mal.
like shit after you do that.
Well,
But
it's-
also, like, you should try and make sure you hit stuff that's around the board. Maybe some things that you didn't necessarily think that you would like, just
There's
so that you can
a-
get a feel for what that like genre is. Of course, if
Yeah.
you're not really turning yourself into a weeaboo otaku freak, then ignore that and just
So
watch
what
the
he's
shit that looks
saying is
interesting,
you need
but
to watch Serial Experiments Lane, is what he's saying.
That should be your first
And-
show.
Monster Musume and Sakura Trick.
Yeah, best shows right there. You know, put in some prison school and stuff. But like,
Sakura Trick is a show I didn't know I wanted, and Monster Musume was a show I knew I didn't want and turned out to love.
I'm just gonna
I
point
also-
out. Sorry, Sam. I'll go really quick here. There's a good resource. It's the anime recommendation Flowchart. Just Google it. We can actually link it in the show notes. I don't know why I said Google it, but it's a big flow chart of a bunch of series you can watch. Has a ton of stuff. It's pretty well organized.
I just want to recommend 2 really quick. Martian Successor Nadesco. Actually 3. Rurouni Kenshin and New Game. Please watch New Game. Very
Dude,
simple,
Alba.
easy to
Alba,
watch.
though.
The
Alba.
classic new game.
It's a very cool slice of life. Really love it. And the animation is just great. Great animation. It's by Studio. I don't remember. Anyways,
Yeah, I'm gonna name
And-
2 more really quick. Death Note
You have to see.
and Full Metal
No.
Alchemist.
You
Blam.
don't need to
Death
see
Note.
Death Note.
You do need to see those. They are classics, and they are very
You don't.
popular.
You can. Yes, go watch Brotherhood. Don't watch Death Note.
Do watch Death Note. Don't listen to these guys. It
watch
has a
Death
million
Note.
members on Mail.
Go
Number
see
1 most popular. anime.
Claned
You don't need to watch
and
Claned.
Anohana.
Yeah, watch Anohana.
You can skip Claned. Okay.
So those are some of the shows that we think.
And you can skip Nick's
should
opinions.
Definitely watch.
One Punch Man is
if
also
you're
good.
just getting into it. I feel like One Punch Man loses a lot of its good feelings
Yeah,
if
but
you
it's-
haven't watched
it's just
enough
really easy
shonen
to-
fight anime.
Nah, it's fine. Oh, speaking of Shonen Fight anime, watch the granddaddy, not really the OG, but watch like the best one, Dragon Ball.
The original.
The original Dragon Ball and even Dragon Ball Z are both. Dragon Ball is really good. It's a classic, super funny, one of the best shonens ever. Check it out.
Dun
That's my
dun dun
last one.
dun 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 dun.
Okay. So on to the main topic. One thing that Mac, do you want to introduce it? You came up with the topic.
Let me clear my throat here. The main topic we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about comedy shows because we do a lot of stuff that is drama oriented or, you know, serious fucking plot shit, except for Keijo and shit like that. But we don't really spend a lot of time talking about comedy. So I figured that for this episode, we could just talk about comedy, you know, its role in anime, how it's executed, and cultural barriers, just different shit that you see from Japanese anime that has comedy in it. And basically all the differences there are. Like, say you're watching, what's a good example? I have to think
Here
here.
we go.
Nichijou.
Full Metal Alchemist has comedy.
Full Metal Alchemist is not a comedy.
We're talking
Actually-
about okay. Question. So we're talking
Actually,
about
Nichijou
specifically.
actually is a very good example because cultural barriers, like at the shrines and stuff, whenever they go to the shrines, some of that comedy may go a little over your head, or possibly, actually, an even better example now that I'm thinking about it is Gintama. Those
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
the
lot
referential.
that will soar right over your head if you're not very, very in tune with the Japanese culture.
There's a good description of Gintama. It's like mediocre Japanese references that weeaboos overrate or something like that.
It's basically Simpsons.
I don't know if that's true. Yeah.
So even what's hard is to go back and watch it because it has a story, but then it's also like super referential to what's going on in Japan at the time.
Yeah, they do a lot of Shonen Jump references. I think Mac mentioned that.
Yeah, but also there's another thing about Gintama is, for me at least, for the episodes that I've seen, I haven't seen even a tenth of Gintama, but from everything that I've seen, it's really hit and miss as far as the comedy goes. Some of it will make you cry, you laugh so fucking hard. Others, it's just like, okay, I guess that's funny. You know, it's
Yeah.
one of those things, which, to be fair, comedy is one of the hardest things that you could ever do, in my opinion.
No, it's really easy. Let's just keep shitting on Gintama.
Well, it is in the top 10 on Mal multiple times, so
Oh my
it's the best show ever. I don't think Gintama is a good like starter comedy, but if you've watched like
Oh,
a
no.
number of shonen and you
Nah,
understand, especially
it
the
just
big
fit
three,
the bill
you know?
for. It just fit the bill really well for like having so many cultural differences and so many cultural references in it that you have to know to get literally half the shit that's going on in that show.
Yeah. I think a shorter version of Gintama, if you want to watch another semi-referential comedy, is Osumatsu-san, the new version from last year. It's kind of similar to Gintama with like a lot of references, and it has a lot of like famous voice actors. The guy who did Araragi. I can never remember that guy's name, but anyway, he did Araragi and like a whole bunch of other guys. And Osumatsu-san is just it's super crazy and wacky. It's like basically each episode's in 2 parts, so you have like the first half, second half, and it's about all these like I don't know how many tuplets, but there's a lot of there's like brothers of like 6 or 7 or 9 or whatever, and they all get into these crazy shenanigans. And Osumatsu-san, very funny. It has a really good first episode actually that they had to take off the air because of they didn't have like the permission to air to do certain parodies. Like I know they did an Attack on Titan parody and like a whole bunch of other ones in there. So if you can find that one online, definitely check it out. But yeah, it's just it's a shorter version of Gintama, sort of, kind of.
I got you. And that's
probably an oversimplification, but
I didn't watch Osumatsu actually.
You'd
Was
probably
that
like it. It's good.
was that slapstick similar to Nichijou?
Yeah, actually,
Nichijou.
They don't go that far because it's not KyoAni. They don't have like the crazy animation.
No, I don't
level,
mean the
but-
animation. I'm talking about the comedic execution to it. I mean, as far as comedies go, you've got the comedies where the whole story or the whole episode or maybe even the whole series builds around these certain jokes that happen. And then you have more of these little shorts such as Nichijou or Danshi Kokosei no Nichijou or Plastic Nason, shows like that are little clips that basically comprise the entire episode that are just slapstick comedy.
Yeah, isn't that from like, what is it, 4 panel like webcomics or something? Koga should know this. It's
Yeah, what about him?
What about them?
they're based off of it's like 4-panel comics. So some of them are.
Yeah.
Nichijou's not, but
Which, man, how weird is Japan doing 4-panel? We do 3-panel in good old USA.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
here,
three is
here,
the
in,
better
here in
number.
America, we only need 3 panels.
Yeah, to
Them
tell a joke.
Chinese cartoon doing 4 panels. That's just
our panels
All
are
comedy
bigger.
is done in 3s. 1, to establish a pattern. 2, to enforce the pattern. And 3, to break the pattern. That's how comedy's done.
That's a good
Woo,
rule right
America!
there.
That's actually how comedy's done. That's how good. If you see stuff like, those man, Low, Larry, and Curl. Low, Larry, and
Low,
Three
Larry,
Stooges.
and
Three
Curl.
Stooges.
The Three Stooges.
Jesus, got 3 Stooges.
What is that thing they do where they like hit each other on the head?
Yeah.
We
Whoop.
should do that to
Yeah.
Quokka right fucking now.
Poke him in the eye with the little peace sign.
Sometimes Quokka forgets how to word, okay?
What is English?
So basically, what I'm saying is, what's something that we like in what are the comedic elements in anime that we like? What comedy animes do we like? What comedic parts in anime make us go ha?
Most
I
recently,
like when characters
it's
make that
just
sound.
been I've gotten a lot more laugh out loud stuff recently, and it's just from stuff being just so ridiculous where I just laugh at this is crazy. Like I know Keijo is she's doing like butt flashes where
Oh,
her
fuck
butt
yeah.
becomes like a fucking missile hand punch that just returns back to her without her moving, and I just laugh out loud. It's mostly because it's ridiculous and not because it's like
She has to
deliberately
like
funny.
pull turnips out of the earth with her butt for an entire episode. It's like a little shonen fucking montage of her just pulling turnips out with her butt.
That's hot.
I really just want to say Nichijou, fantastic with
Fucking
all of its
Nichijou.
shorts and reoccurring jokes and amazing artwork and great visual comedy, which is something that's really dying out, especially in America. Visual comedy, is something.
Oh yeah, a
And-
lot of American comedy is just like it's just words. Yeah, it's not very
And-
like the Every Frame of Painting did a good video on that. We can link in the show notes.
The great thing, too, about Nichijou is that it's a whole lot more hit than it is miss. Like, if you watch an episode of Nichijou, you're going to laugh your ass off multiple times throughout the show or throughout that episode. You don't have to go, 1 or 2 episodes without really having a good laugh because the comedy sucks. No, Nichijou is legitimately great.
And like
Nichijou is wholesome comedy. It's not like really raunchy at all. So anybody can watch it.
There's 1 or 2 recurring segments that are heavily like, pun based and stuff, but they're the super short ones. I think Helvetica is one of those.
Dude, the Helvetica standards are fucking great.
Yeah, Helvetica standard.
Like a font.
Yeah, yes. Helvetica standard is a font. The thing I really like about Nichijou is that it goes all out without becoming overwhelming, but every chance it gets to make you,
it doesn't go full bones.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Every chance it gets to make you laugh, it will do it, and it'll most of the time work. Even in just the little intervals, like the little in between little things. There's like a segment where for like the first like probably 3rd or like 4 episodes they do this jump rope thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's a different character. It's like 2 like completely white out bodies just doing a double dutch. And
I thought it was black men with egg heads.
Oh yeah. They're like in a black morph suit or something with the egg heads.
No, it's black people with egg heads.
Okay, anyways.
We have to be specific here.
But like a different character will go in and I don't know. It's funny. They'll try and jump rope, and each character has a different outcome. There's times where a character they're playing rock paper scissors, or it's the professor and the robot. But anyways, it's a great show. I think you'll laugh. Really funny. Really good slice of life. Good comedy.
Really good
we move on to we're gonna need to move on to another show eventually.
I'm gonna name one of my favorites here. No, go ahead.
Let me say one final comment. Big thing is they take everything in Nichijou, they make a joke out of it. There's not something there that's just even stuff that's like needs to be there for story purposes is fed into the joke itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But moving on
to the opposite end of the comedy spectrum with Golden Boy. Is that comedy, classic comedy from 1995. I'm sorry if Quokka has no taste in comedy and he doesn't like Golden Boy, but it's fucking classic. It has a great dub.
Dude, it's a perfect raunchy.
Yeah, it's raunchy and like at the same time smart, because like the way that Kentaro Oe, the main character, describes his like feelings and emotions and how he wants to get with these girls and stuff, and it's fucking hilarious.
So basically there's this guy, he's a traveling student, like whatever, college student, and his name is Kentaro, and he's like doing odd jobs, right? It's just like trying to
he's a freeder, as he calls it.
Yeah. So he's biking around on his little bike, and it's by Studio APPP. It's actually was produced by ADV Films here in America.
Yeah, so there's a lot of same like dub actors you'll find in a lot of those shows.
I have one of the VHS tapes. I'll show it to you, Nick, when you come over. But he gets every situation or job he gets into, he is opposite to these like really attractive women, and these women are kind of snobby, they're kind of stuck up, and right away they're like, oh, this fucking idiot, and he just gets into these situations. There's boobies, and then like later when he does the job, they're like, oh my god, and I don't know, it's almost like Three's Company kind of situational, like the raunchy stuff in Three's Company, how that was kind of like situational comedy. It's almost kind of like that at sometimes.
Yeah.
And that just is like really funny.
The situational
I don't know, the
stuff
way they
is my
execute
favorite.
it.
Yeah, like the swimming pool scene where he's racing the teacher and he gets his head stuck in her crotch like on purpose because he's trying. That's his motivation for winning, is just like trying to catch into her ass, and it's like it's so fucking funny. And like the one where he's racing a girl on a bike and she's like,
it sounds
yeah.
The way we're describing it makes it sound like some dumb American Pie, like raunchy comedy, but it's just more than that. It's the way they animate it too.
Yeah,
like the way
the best part of the whole thing is the dub. You have to watch this English dubbed. The voice actor who did Golden Boy, I think his name is So Doug Smith, he's done like 2 roles in anime ever, and one of them was Golden Boy. And actually, he's uncredited in Evangelion. He has like one line in Evangelion. Beside the point. So he does. Yeah. He just yells the whole time in Golden Boy, and he's like yelling. He's yelling like this raunchy poetry the whole time about how he wants to like lick the toilet seats and be like their slave and stuff like that. It's so fucking funny.
And actually, speaking of Evangelion, Tiffany Grant, who plays Asuka,
Yeah, there's a lot of the
first
same
episode.
voice actresses, like Misato's in there
plays-
too, and
Yep. But anyway,
Golden Boy,
definitely
great raunchy comedy.
6 episodes OVA. Give it a watch, please.
Another
Super funny.
great raunchy comedy that is just a little bit newer than that. Came out in 1999, done by Gainax, is Ebichu.
Oh yeah,
Fucking hysterical.
that hamster anime.
Oh my god. That is, if you ever wanted to watch any kind of sort of erotic comedy that doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really
That
play
paints
off
itself
the,
as a
it
kid's
doesn't
show.
play off the eroticness as fan service. It's more for the comedy, and the animation is absolute shit. But goddamn, is it fucking funny? Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've
just
laughed
go to
my
the,
ass
we can
off
link
so
the
many times.
Ebichu scene where he's on the phone doing like phone sex with this one guy.
Basically,
Fucking hilarious.
this show is about a hamster that can talk, okay? That's all you need to know. A hamster that can talk. And it's 24 episodes, and pretty much all of it is available on YouTube if you want to watch it that way. And just watch it. Just watch it. You will laugh. I can guarantee you will laugh.
So I think what we're talking about here, all the animes that we've described, the way the comedy is in these animes are very...
The plural of anime is animu.
You just triggered
They're
so many
definitely-
people, Sam. Yeah, you said animes. Like, oh god,
Oh my god. Because I think it's funny.
we're
to say so.
casuals.
Shut up.
We're gonna get a 2-star rating now.
Okay, the thing about Chinese cartoons is this. The anime we described just now obviously has a very... They were very intent on making good comedy. And I don't know... What Coca described, Keijo, I think, is a comedy in a way. Definitely is. Because it's just so
100% a
ridiculous.
comedy, Sam.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well, it's
comedy
it's also
fan
action.
service.
No, it's action, dude. It's butt action.
Butt action.
No, it's
just a
comedy.
sport anime. It's a normal sport anime.
It's a sport anime.
Yeah, but the sport is just the
Very
vessel to deliver
serious
the comedy.
sport anime.
There's
It's a
nothing
very
serious
serious
about
sport
Keijo.
anime.
I think people in Japan, when they make these
Chinese
comedic
porn
scenes
cartoons.
or just comedy anime, they know how to execute it. I don't know. Like I don't know if I've ever not laughed at a comedic scene in a serious anime, or not laughed at other comedy anime. Like
because the characters and directing is really expressive. Like
yeah,
you get like these wacky explosions, and it turns into like kind of American cartoon almost. Like Kill la Kill
Right.
has a great episode. Was it number 4 or something where they're racing to the top to get to the school, and it just turns into
it's
this
like
cartoon.
3rd or 4.
Yeah.
It's so
And it's
ridiculous.
wacky.
yeah.
Like the wackiness makes shows great.
And every time they go and try and rescue Ryuko, her underwear is showing. So someone
Yeah, and everyone's trying to take pictures
of
of her and stuff. And it's just,
It literally happens like 4 times in a row.
yeah, and like
But yeah.
I was just gonna say, what makes comedy good for me is like there has to be. It doesn't have to be, but like part of why I don't think Nichijou is my personal favorite is because there's not much of like a plot to that one, and it doesn't have a lot of seriousness. Like the reason I like something like Prison School or Golden Boy more is that they have their plot ties into the comedy, and there's like there's an element of drama, and the characters have these goals that they have to achieve, and they're like doing anything they can just to get there, even if it's a stupid goal.
It's like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Like
Yeah.
they are just trying to go to White Castle. And like, yeah.
See,
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I don't think that a comedy needs an overarching plot or any kind of seriousness to be a great comedy, because as long as it's a great comedy, it's a great comedy. But that being said, I get where you're coming from. I like comedies that are that way too, that actually have a little bit of story to them and a little bit of overarching, an idea at least going to them. Shout out, actually, I'm gonna do another comedy show here. Great Teacher Onizuka.
Oh yeah, we
Absolutely
mentioned it earlier.
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It's great.
Yeah.
You should watch
And I
that.
think for the most part, I agree with Nick. But if you're going to do a comedy where there isn't like kind of like an overarching story like Nichijou, then it has to be really good. Like you have to do it like
Yeah, the skits have to
I'm-
be just funny on their own.
yeah, like it is in Nichijou, or my next favorite one, Crayon Shin-chan. That shit is so funny.
Crayon
It's just straight up.
Shin-chan.
It's just
That
straight
name
up
is funny.
adult. It's just
It's
straight
just
up
South
adult
Park.
humor. It's straight up adult humor. Like the dub is really funny. The sub is really funny either way. But I remember watching the dub one time, and there's like, so it's like shorts, right? Like just like Nichijou, and they were, Shin-chan's, he's a 5-year-old kindergartner, okay, and he's kind of like Stewie in a way. He knows all these words and terms, and like, he's not like an evil genius like Stewie, but he knows more than a 5-year-old should know. And his favorite superhero on television is Action Bastard. And first of all, like, his name is Action Bastard. That's hilarious. They were giving out these little stickers, but you had to buy like this nasty pepper sausage to get these stickers. And if you sent in the stickers, you got an Action Bastard belt. And he was like at the grocery store trying to sample shit, and he was like, dude, eat this sausage so I can get the sticker. And the one guy was like, no way, kid, I'd rather lick dog scrotum. like the dub was like, that was literally the dub. Like, he's like, no way, I'd rather lick dog scrotum.
It reminds me of
And
Ghost
I don't know.
Stories.
And sorry, I kind of went on along with that, but Crayon Shin-chan, really funny adult humor. There's sexual innuendos. There's butt jokes. Action Bastard.
Whoa, slow down. Butt jokes. Sold. That's all I need.
Oh, there's the ass dance, of course, where he pulls down his pants and all he does like this MC Hammer back and forth thing while he's shaking his ass, and all he does is go ass dance, ass dance, ass dance.
Does he make a sand cyclone like they do in Keijo? They're like posturing at each other and they're waving their asses to make a sandstorm so they can get away.
Nah. Well, maybe.
Wait, Sam, you've seen Detroit Metal City, right?
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
I can't believe I
God.
didn't bring that up. I can't believe I didn't bring
you like
that up.
music and all that shit. That show is great because
Detroit-
it's like this. It's about this guy with an identity crisis. He wants to make this like wholesome, nice music with a
Pretty
folksy,
much.
Guitar. But then he ends up as this like metal demon rock god guy because that's all he can do.
I think we might need to close it with this one, but yeah, Detroit Metal City there's this guy named, I think,
doesn't matter. What his
I
name
have the
is.
manga.
It's the main character.
Doesn't matter. He's a main character, and he wants to be like a pop, like a folk pop singer, like with an acoustic guitar and stuff. But the only way he can play music and be on the stage like he wants to do is be in this death metal band or black death metal band called Detroit Metal City, because he's really good at doing the vocals and playing guitar.
Well, no,
So
his
it's
best
like a
part is
vulgar-
like he accidentally does these super metal like actions where he like just goes. It's almost like Mob Psycho 100, where he gets his like meter goes up and then he just goes nuts. He goes berserk and he fake rapes a cop, and his special power is to say the word rape 10 times in 1 second. Like that's part of his song, and like
his character is named Johannes Krauser II, and he's this Swedish Japanese black metal death god. And he's basically, they kind of based him off of the lead singer of Dimmu Borgir, which is a black metal band. But no, it's really hilarious. It's a kind of vulgar comedy, so
and
there's a lot
it's
of,
short too. It's only 11-minute episodes, which makes it better.
It
Like
is.
a lot of comedies suffer from being a little bit too long.
It is.
I almost think it's better just to have them in shorter episodes, or maybe a shorter series like Golden Boy.
right.
Yeah.
But it's like Quokka said earlier, it's one of those ridiculous ones. So it's really ridiculous in a way, and it's really funny.
Yeah, it's pretty edgy and funny.
but-
yeah.
But just to wrap it up,
Great description, Nick.
No,
obviously,
we ain't wrapping it up yet. We still haven't talked
Oh.
about my favorite comedy animu of all time.
Okay, I just wanted to say this thing
Magica.
before you. Okay, I just wanted to say this thing before you went on. There is a live action adaptation of Detroit Metal City, and they take the name from Kiss's Detroit Rock City, which is hilarious because Gene
Simmons?
Gene Simmons. Oh my god, I can't believe I fucking forgot his name. Is
God damn it,
actually
Sam, I can't believe you just forget
You
simple shit.
They have,
uncultured
like,
swine, some.
at the end. I love Kiss. They're a great band. It's great. Anyways,
I got to call some
live
swine.
at the end of the live action movie, there's this big guitar battle, and Gene Simmons plays the opposing guy. It's really hilarious. Anyways, go ahead, Quokka.
Okay, so my favorite comedy anime of all time, I'm actually rewatching this right now, is fantastic. Gekkan Shoujo Nozaki-kun. It's got cute girl, Chiyo Sakura, the one and only Chiyo Sakura. She's a Paris in human form. The Pokemon, not like Paris Hilton or the city in Texas. The city in Texas. A guy that makes girls manga.
Shoujo. That'd be the
Need
word.
I say more? Need I say more? Yeah, a lot of jokes are based very heavily on making fun of shoujo manga in general.
See, we do
So
our
if you
research.
know a bit more
we use
about
the word shoujo.
if you know about shoujo anime and shoujo manga, a lot of the jokes
A lot of flowers.
have a lot more power.
Big eyeballs.
But the jokes in themselves, very, very hilarious. Make a lot of also jokes about how manga needs to promote good Japanese values and things like that. And the fact that the main artist that's making this anime for girls has been called the spokesperson for a young girl's heart is completely dense when it comes to ladies in general. And there's a fabulous scene in like episode 4 where one of the guys comes to this guy that makes the shoujo manga to ask him for advice with girls. And by advice with girls, he means on his dating sim. And they're playing through it. And they're just like, they really get into it. And then they realize that at the end of the day, it was, okay, I'm going to edit some of this to make it make sense because I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking right now. I was just thinking and not paying attention to what I was saying. But so they get to the end and there's like the side guy companion and he's just like saying all this wonderful stuff and they're like, man, you're a really great friend. We're gonna make a fan fiction all about you. And then they're thinking through like which is the girl that the guy should go after, and they realize that he just really loved the protagonist so much. It was just protagonist and Tomoda-kun going together. It was fabulous. And also, on this note, fuck you, Arcada, for saying the show doesn't have enough romance.
We're going to give a shout out
You
to
called
Arcada
it-
and a
Damn.
fuck you to Arcada.
You called it a romantic comedy and complained that it didn't have enough romance, and you said people shouldn't watch it. But it's not a romantic comedy, it's a comedy about romance. Distinct difference there.
Perhaps if
And
we
it's
leave
fabulous.
a YouTube comment,
They are different.
he will
In the
know
future-
the error of his ways.
Yeah, everybody should tweet at Arcada and tell him to come on the show to defend himself.
No, just leave the exact same YouTube comment on that video.
That's at Glass Reflection. And
Yeah, let's
when he
just
comes
burn
on,
some
we'll talk
bridges.
about this. I'll confront him. We'll do this like men.
If we ever get him on the cast, Quokka's just gonna fucking go ballistic. You're like, it's not a romance! Blah!
Yeah, pretty
Actually, the
much.
correct term is animu.
Animes?
Chinese
All he's
porn
going to do,
cartoons.
all he's going to do is correct him on trite little insignificant details the entire time.
Oh my god.
I don't
Arcada
think
with his
that
vast knowledge
Arcada
will
would
know
get
what
any
you
of
want.
those trite, insignificant details wrong, except in this case of Gekkan Shoujo's genre.
Yeah, I think he would know a lot more than all of us. So
He would call it animu, and he would know that it comes from China.
actually, a lot of anime does 10% apparently, according to the Crunchy Cast. Shout out to another
Anyway, yeah.
podcast. 10% of anime this season was funded by China, or give or take.
To wrap this up, we should all say the first comedy anime, like the first proper comedy anime that we each saw. Not like you were watching Dragon Ball and there was a part that made you laugh, because Dragon Ball's not really.
It is a comedy though.
So wait, the first comedy
Ball's
that
a
you
comedy.
saw in its entirety? Is that what you mean?
No, because I would say chances are it was more like a kid-friendly show, but mine would be Cromartie High School that I watched on the Anime Network back
Another
when that was a
short
thing on
anime,
TV.
which
Not
is
really.
good.
It
Well,
does
it's
the
11-minute
American thing where
episodes.
it's 2 episodes in one.
Yeah.
It's still a half-hour
Oh, it
segment.
does the Princess Tutu thing. Yeah, okay. But it's still short episodes.
No, it's still a 21-minute episode.
Mine was Golden Boy, but I had to rewatch it later to understand a bit better because obviously
Sam watched it when he was like 6, probably. He's just
I
like,
watched it when I was like 8 or 9, and I was getting a little too horny. I was like, oh geez.
he's like, I
Oh,
feel
God.
funny.
Sam, have you ever seen Cromartie High School? Because it has
No,
Freddie
I haven't.
Mercury in it.
Okay, now I have to watch it.
Yeah,
That's-
It
he's
has
the one
Freddie
that-
that's all I
Mercury,
know.
and I'm pretty sure he fights a gorilla and rides a horse.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, yeah, I need to watch that. I've seen like a GIF of that. I think.
in multiple episodes.
I don't know. I don't
Alright,
have like a
yeah.
first comedy. Like, I'm just going to count Dragon Ball. Fuck it. I don't know. I'll count Prison School. It's not the first one, but it's like one of the first ones that I watched. that was just like a pure comedy that I really liked.
Like straight up, yeah.
Prison School is great. You guys would like it. So, even though you shit on me earlier on for having supreme taste.
Ugh.
Probably the first pure comedy that I watched in its entirety probably be Gata H Kei.
What is that?
I've heard of that one. Yeah, that one's pretty popular.
That one's
It's like a cult
that one.
classic.
That's another raunchy comedy. I'm kind of a fan of the raunchy stuff. It's pretty funny.
The raunchy stuff is
So
always
Mac's a
funny.
fan of raunchy comedy. You got to watch Prison School and Golden Boy, Mac. Come on.
I'm not watching Prison School. No matter what you
At
say,
least-
I'm not
at
watching.
least
Prison
Prison
School is
Golden
fucking
Boy.
great. It's like
I'm not
legitimately
watching
good.
Prison School. Just
Legitimately
because
good.
you want me to. Just because.
All right, here we go. All right, Quokka, hurry up.
And on that bombshell.
Fuck this podcast.
I've been Quokka. With me has been Mac, Nick, and Sam. And starting next week, Mac's gonna be the one doing this extra talking that I always do, because he's gonna be in charge.
And this is the Anime Summit Mac podcast. Something.
Also, quick shout out to everyone who retweeted Team Sam on Twitter for the Shokugeki. Chris, That Danny, A Raging Aztec, and Bryce. Thank